Have you ever wondered who stood as the true embodiment of bravery in the ancient Norse Pantheon? Today, let's unravel the enigmatic tale of Tyr, Norse mythology's real god of war. Often overshadowed by thunderous Thor or the cunning Odin, Tyr's story is a tapestry woven with bravery, sacrifice, and tragedy. Norse mythology, a realm of giants, gods, and unimaginable adventures, holds within it the story of Tyr. Tyr's name is derived from the Proto-Indo-European Daios, which evolved into the Proto-Germanic Tiwaz, meaning god or deity. This root is shared with deities like Zeus and Jupiter, suggesting that Tyr might have once held a significant position among the Norse gods. However, by the time the Norse epics were penned, Tyr's prominence had notably diminished. Tyr was more than a brave warrior. He was a beacon of wisdom and justice. In the Norse epics, particularly in the Gylfaginning from the prose Edda, he is lauded for his bravery, stoutness of heart, and influence over victory in battle. Tyr's wisdom is also highlighted, with phrases like Tyr prudent used to describe someone exceptionally wise. His most famous attribute, however, is his missing right hand, bitten off by the giant wolf Fenrir. This event not only signifies his bravery, but also his commitment to justice and the greater good, as he sacrificed his hand to ensure Fenrir's binding, a critical step in preventing Ragnarok. We will talk about this event later on in this video. You see, Norse texts don't speak volumes about Tyr, which shrouds his tale in mystery. But in every mention, he stands fearless, a supporter of warriors in Midgard, the human world. Now diving into Tyr's lineage, and you'll find a puzzle of theories. The question of Tyr's parentage is a subject of great debate among scholars and enthusiasts of Norse mythology. On one hand, some sources, like the Skaldskaparmal part of the Prose Edda, suggest Tyr is the son of Odin, the chief god of the Aesir tribe. If this is true, Tyr would be half-siblings with some of the most famous gods in Norse mythology, such as Thor, Baldur, and Heimdall. However, another twist comes from the Hymiskvida, a poem from the poetic Edda. Here, Tyr is depicted as the son of Hymir, a giant. This contrast presents a fascinating duality in Tyr's character. Being the offspring of a god and a giant could imply a mix of divine and more earthly, perhaps primal, characteristics. This duality could also reflect in his attributes as a god of war and justice, blending the power and ferocity of a giant with the wisdom and order of a god. Adding to the intrigue is the mention of Tyr's grandmother in the Hymiskvida. She's described as a figure with 900 heads, a vivid example of the surreal and fantastical elements that permeate Norse mythology. This aspect of his lineage isn't just a minor detail. It adds a layer of mythical grandeur and complexity to Tyr's background. Norse mythology often uses such hyperbolic descriptions to emphasize the power and otherworldly nature of its characters. Another fascinating aspect is how Tyr's status in the Norse pantheon may have evolved over time. Initially, given the etymological roots of his name, Tyr might have held a more central role in the Norse religion, akin to Zeus in Greek mythology or Jupiter in Roman mythology. However, by the time the Norse sagas were written down, his prominence seems to have waned, with Odin and Thor taking more central roles. This shift in significance hints at the dynamic nature of mythologies, how gods can rise and fall in importance over time. Now let's talk about Tyr, Fenrir, and Ragnarok. Fenrir, the colossal wolf, is a character as central to Tyr's story as the god of war himself. He is one of 3 fearsome children of Loki and the giantess Angerboda. His siblings include Jormungand, the world-encircling serpent, and Hel, the ruler of the underworld. The gods, particularly Tyr, raised Fenrir in Asgard, the realm of the gods. Tyr, known for his bravery and upholding of law and honor, was the only god brave enough to feed and care for Fenrir, forming a bond with the wolf. However, as Fenrir grew, so did his strength and ferocity, and the gods realized the potential threat he posed. The gods' attempts to bind Fenrir were initially framed as tests of his strength, and Fenrir easily broke every fetter they presented. Eventually, the gods sought the help of the dwarves of Svartalfheim to create a magical chain, Gleipnir, forged from 6 impossible things, including the sound of a cat's footfall, the beard of a woman, and the roots of a mountain. Fenrir, suspicious of the magical chain, agreed to be bound only if one of the gods placed a hand in his mouth as a pledge. Tyr, demonstrating his unparalleled bravery, placed his hand in Fenrir's mouth. When Fenrir realized he could not break free, he bit off Tyr's hand in fury. Fenrir's binding was a key event leading up to Ragnarok, the end of the world in Norse mythology. During Ragnarok, Fenrir broke free from his chains and played a crucial role in the apocalyptic events, including devouring Odin, the chief of the gods. It is a testament to the intricacies of Norse mythology, where the actions of gods and mythical beings are intertwined with the prophecies and fates that ultimately lead to the cyclical destruction and renewal of the world. Tyr's death and legacy in Norse mythology are as intricate and fascinating as his life and the myths surrounding him. According to Norse mythology, Tyr meets his end during Ragnarok, the apocalyptic series of events leading to the destruction and rebirth of the world. During this cataclysmic battle, Tyr battles Garm, the fearsome guard dog of hell, and they both kill each other. Garm, much like Fenrir, is another monstrous offspring of Loki, emphasizing the intertwining destinies of the gods and the children of Loki in the Norse mythos. Tyr's legacy, however, goes far beyond his death. His attributes as a god of war, law, and justice are pivotal in understanding his role in Norse mythology. Tyr was more than just a valiant warrior. He was also a symbol of wisdom and a champion of justice. His bravery is most notably symbolized by his missing right hand, devoured by Fenrir, the giant wolf. This act of sacrifice highlights Tyr's commitment to justice and the greater good, traits revered in Norse culture. Tyr's influence extends beyond mythology into various aspects of culture and history. His name, originating from the Proto-Germanic Tiwaz, is linked to the celestial or heavenly one, indicating a high status in the Pantheon, potentially even as a chief deity in earlier times before Norse sources favored Odin. This connection is further reflected in the modern English weekday name, Tuesday, derived from Tisdagar in Old Norse, meaning Day of Tyr. This association with a weekday signifies Tyr's once prominent role in the Norse pantheon. Additionally, Tyr is associated with the rune Tiwaz, commonly found in the runic alphabets of ancient Germanic peoples. This rune often appears in inscriptions as a magical symbol, emphasizing the enduring spiritual and cultural significance of Tyr. The rune itself is representative of Tyr, symbolizing attributes such as victory in battle, a nod to his role as a war deity. Tyr's story is a blend of bravery, wisdom, and justice. Each aspect of Tyr's narrative, from his ambiguous lineage to his symbolic representation in runes and names, contributes to our understanding of the Norse pantheon and the values it represented in Viking society. What do you think? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, please like and subscribe for more content just like this. Until next time.